Hello students. In this video today we are going to revise geography chapter number 3, motions of the earth. Now, as we already know, earth has two types of motions, namely rotation and revolution. What is rotation? It is the movement of the earth on its axis, and the movement of the earth around the sun in a fixed path or the orbit is called revolution. Now, the axis of the earth, what is axis of the earth? It is a imaginary line which makes an angle of 66.5 degree with its orbital plane. Orbital plane is a plane formed by the orbit. Now, as we already know that earth receives its light and heat from the sun, and due to the spherical shape of the earth, only half portion or half of it gets light at a particular point of time. Now, the portion facing the sun experiences daytime, or there is light in this portion, while the other half, which is away from the sun, experiences night or is completely dark. Now, the circle that divides the day from the night on the globe is called the circle of illumination. Please remember, the circle of illumination is the circle that divides day from the night on the globe. Now, the earth takes about 24 hours. 24 hours makes one day, one complete day. So it takes earth 24 hours or one day to complete one rotation around its axis. Now, the period of rotation is known as the earth day. Please remember this. Earth day is the period of rotation of the earth. This is the daily motion of the earth. So, the rotation of the earth causes day and night. Now, a question arises. What will happen if earth did not rotate? The portion, if such situation occurs, the portion of the earth facing the sun would always receive the light and will always have or experience day, thus bringing continuous warmth and heat to that particular region, while the other half will remain away from the sun and will be in complete darkness, and it will be very freezing cold all the time. So, if the earth did not rotate, life would not be possible. Life will not be possible because earth will experience extreme conditions of extreme hot and extreme cold. Now, let us come to the second motion of the earth, that is revolution. This is the motion of the earth around the sun in its orbit. Earth takes 365 1 by 4 days, that is 1 year, to revolve around the sun. Now, we consider a year as consisting of 365 days only and ignore the 6 hours for the sake of convenience. But these 6 hours do not actually go to waste. They are later added up. Let us see how. So, these 6 hours saved every year are added to make one day, 24 hours over a span of 4 years. Like this, 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 equal to 24. So this is 1 year, second year, third year, fourth year. So this one day is added to the month of February every fourth year, and February has 29 days instead of 20 days every fourth year, and every fourth year, which is also called a leap year, has 366 days. Now we already know The shape of the orbit of the earth is elliptical. We've already studied this in previous chapter. Another important thing is that throughout its orbit, the earth is inclined in the same direction, inclined or tilted in the same direction. So now a year is usually divided into four seasons, that is summer, winter, spring and autumn seasons. Seasons change due to the change in the position of the earth around the sun. So it is through the motion of revolution which brings seasons, or which brings the change in the seasons of the earth. Now, regarding these seasons, there are certain dates which are very important and which you should remember. First date is 21st June. Now, on 21st June, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. And since it is tilted towards the sun, the rays of the sun fall directly on the Tropic of Cancer. As we already know, Tropic of Cancer is in northern hemisphere. As a result, these areas receive more heat. And now, as we already know that the poles, the North Pole and the South Pole, receive very less sun. The sun is slanting in the poles. So now in this condition, when the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, the North Pole is inclined. The North Pole is inclined towards the sun, and the places beyond the Arctic Circle which is in North Pole, experiences continuous daylight for about 6 months. Okay, since a large portion of the northern hemisphere is getting light from the sun, it is summer. It is summer season in the regions north of the equator, or in this type of situation, it is summer in the northern hemisphere. It is summer in the North Pole. That is why in the North Pole there is continuous daylight for 6 months. Now, what is 21st June? Why is it important? So, the longest day and the shortest night at these places means in the northern hemisphere, occur on 21st June. Okay, so on 21st June in the northern hemisphere, there is longest day and shortest night. And at the same time, the opposite thing is happening in the southern hemisphere. So in the southern hemisphere, it is winter, the nights are long, days are short, and this 21st June, this time is also known as summer solstice. Please remember, it is called summer solstice. Now, another date which we have is 22 December. Now, during this time, the Tropic of Capricorn receives, or the southern hemisphere of the earth is now receiving direct rays of the sun. Why? Because the southern hemisphere is now tilted towards the sun. And as the sun rays fall vertically on the Tropic of Capricorn is in southern hemisphere, a larger portion of the southern hemisphere gets light. Therefore, it is summer in the southern hemisphere with longer days and shorter nights. That is, during the time of December, it is summer in the southern hemisphere. And the opposite thing happens in the northern hemisphere. That is, during the time of December, in the northern hemisphere, there are winters, the days are short, nights are longer, and this position of the earth is called winter solstice. Now, a very interesting fact is that Christmas is celebrated in Australia in the summer season. That is, on 21st December, it is summers in Australia, not the winters. Now, two another important dates which we have are 21st March and 23rd September. So, what happens during these days is direct rays of the sun fall on the equator. Now, during this time, direct rays of the sun are falling on equator. At this position, neither of the poles is tilted towards the sun. So, the whole earth experiences equal day and equal night. So, during 21st March and 23rd September, earth experiences equal day and equal night. This is also called equinox. On 23rd September, it is autumn season in the northern hemisphere and spring season in the southern hemisphere. Please remember, on 23rd September, it is autumn in the northern hemisphere and spring in the southern hemisphere. And the opposite happens on 21st March. That is, on 21st March, it is spring in the northern hemisphere and autumn in the southern hemisphere. Thus, we find that there are changes in days and nights and changes in the season because of the motions of rotation and revolution of the earth respectively.